Hi TikTok, in this episode of Queer Effect, I want to talk not about a specific character, but more about a phenomenon in the game and in video games in general, but Mass Effect is a great example of that. It's called adult fun time and monster fun time. The fact of having adult fun time with aliens or monsters. And the fact that alien romance is kind of seen as a queer romance as well. Let me explain. So it's the phenomena of... So you know how basically all Disney villains are queer-coded, meaning that they act in a queer way, but they're not especially described as non-straight. But it's like Ursula being based on a drag queen, or Scar being gay, or this kind of... Well, all Disney villains are gay, basically. But it's always a villain, never a hero. And that's why queer people tend to gravitate toward villains in kid movies, and Disney's and everything. So as a society and as queer people, we kind of have associated this alienness with queerness, because we see ourselves in aliens, because we are being marginalized, discriminated against, and sometimes seen as villain or monsters. So basically, having all these aliens that are seen as queer, romanceable, means that you can somewhat have a queer romance in and of itself, but in this case queer would mean more like non-straight and non-normal. I'm using quotes because, well, it's normal. It's romancing this alienness that's also a form of queerness. So my point was, if you do not have enough queer romance in Mass Effect, you can just fuck an alien and it's kind of the same. Well, that's what has been explained in many articles. I will put in bio a link to one of these articles that's really interesting. And we can argue that in Mass Effect you can fuck aliens, but they are heterosexual relationships. Well, except for Lyra, PB and Vetra, who you can have adult fun time with as a female shepherd or female raider. But that the fact that they are alien means that it's not straight anymore, somewhat. So, I mean, I don't know if you follow that. I don't know if you agree with that phenomena. I mean, I agree with this theory of alienness being queerness to some extent. It cannot always justify the fact that we have this heterosexual relationship forced on us, or at least that we don't have enough queer relationship in video games and in Mass Effect. But I can understand where it's coming from, and I mean, I kind of agree. Because in all stories where you have like this alienness and this desire for aliens, it always seems pretty queer, yeah? It always seems like a queer story, yeah?